Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back again to the channel. It's Intentional Favor here. If this is your first time of coming across my video, thank you so much for clicking to watch this one, and I hope you will make it your last one. Please hit on the subscribe button, and all my returning subscribers, I love you guys so much. Thanks for always coming back. Please do well to give this video a thumbs up. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you guys the step-by-step process that we took to buy our new build home. My husband and I, we recently bought our first house in the UK, and I would have loved to film this video with him, but he's unavoidably absent. So I'm doing this video on my own. So I'll be sharing with you guys every step that we took, all that you need to know when buying a house in the UK. I hope you find this video useful and take value out of it. Again, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And without much ado, let's go straight into the video. The first step for me, or the first point, is making the big decision. I call this a big decision because for many people, buying a house will be the most expensive or major investment they will ever go into. So it's really a big decision to decide to buy a house, especially abroad. And when making this decision, I'll say it's also very important to answer some questions. And the basic question to answer is why? Why do you want to buy a house? So you really need to decide whether buying a house is a priority and why you want to buy that house. I'll personally say that if you don't define or answer the question of why you want to buy a house, you find out that when you will buy a house will be indefinite. I say this because especially for Africans, or maybe I don't know your circumstances, if you don't prioritize or if you don't see buying a house now as a priority, you find that there will be other things that will keep taking up, taking like more attention. Okay, for instance, for me and my husband, we decided that okay, we want to have a home. We live here because some people also have some decisions to make about maybe they want to build a house back home or should they buy one here first. We thought about it, and we decided that it is best for us to get our house here first and then save later to build a house back home, because this is where we live primarily, year in year out. We are in here, so we made that decision. That's why nothing could distract us. Other things that could come, we just say these ones are secondary. Buying a house now is our primary focus. This is our priority now. Hence, we avoided any distraction until we got it. So if you don't answer the question of why you want to buy a house, when you will buy a house will be indefinite. It can be in the next 20 years even. Another thing I will say under this step is that if you are buying a house as a couple, it's very, very important that you guys make this joint decision, or both of you basically have to be involved. It doesn't have to be just one person wanting or interested in buying a house and the other person is not really interested. If it's like that, you find out that when you buy a house will also be indefinite. Both of you need to agree, we are buying this house. This is why we want to buy this house. It's a priority now, okay? And then you begin the journey. Also, as you progress in your house buying process, even as I'll share with you guys in this video, you find out that buying a house, especially abroad, can be very, very stressful. So both of you need each other to support yourselves moving all the way. So that decision has to be a joint decision, and indeed, it's a big decision. The second step we took was planning. We had to ask ourselves what kind of house we want to buy, how many bedrooms, location also is part of the planning. We made this decision. Obviously, as you guys might already know, we bought a 4-bedroom detached house. That was the non-negotiable. We wanted a 4-bedroom house. Why? Because we are a growing family. We thought that it would be best for us to just buy this because we don't want a situation whereby we buy a house and we started growing as a family and we are no longer happy or comfortable living in the house because of the size of our family. So we just decided, took our time to plan adequately, and we decided that we will buy a 4-bedroom house, and we also wanted to buy a detached house because of an experience that we had in our former rented house with our neighbor. We used to live in a semi-detached house, which is very good. I mean, you just have one neighbor, okay, but that one neighbor, you can't decide who that neighbor will be, how that neighbor will be. So we just wanted our peace, okay, especially in our own home, knowing how much we are willing to spend in this. So we decided to buy a detached house. Also, part of the planning is also budgeting. How much are you willing to spend? What's the budget, like what's the maximum you can go when it comes to buying house? You also need to put that in your plan and decide the location where you want to buy your house. A quick tip is when deciding location, so many factors are come into place. Probably in a subsequent video, I'm going to share with you guys where we decided to buy our house in the location where we did. As you guys may know, we used to live in Sheffield, but we moved out of Sheffield. Why did we make that decision? All this will come in another video. So please, for you not to miss any of these videos, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification bell. So the next step is house hunting and house search. I forgot to mention earlier, during planning, you also need to decide what type of house you want to buy. Is it a new build or an old build house? That's part of the things you consider during planning. So for us, we decided that we are going to buy a new build house for so many reasons, which again, I will bring to you guys in a video. So because it's a new build house, it's straightforward. We need to start searching for developments that are ongoing in the area we have chosen to buy our new house, and then the search began. Okay, we started going to different developments, we started searching. There is this website, New Homes for Sale. Okay, they're also on Facebook. First of all, I saw them on Facebook, then I subscribed to their email, whereby they will, you tell them the location you are and how many miles you are willing to go when buying your house, and then if there is any new development in any of those, like in the areas that you have chosen, they will send you an email telling you that this development is ongoing or there is this new development. That way you have many options. So we subscribed to that email. We also went on Google and searched simple new developments near me, new developments near Sheffield, and all of that. You just put your location there, a number of them will come out. Make contact with them. The good thing is that most developers, they work Saturdays and Sundays. Their weekend is Tuesday and Wednesday, so they work from Thursday till Monday. So it was also good for us. It was on a Saturday. Obviously, we work full time, both of us, on a Saturday because they are open. We booked an appointment, and some of them you don't even need an appointment to go. Just show up, and then they'll give you their brochure. They'll show you around. They have some show homes in the location where the development is, and then you look around and then see what they have to offer. So I still filmed a vlog which I'm going to bring to you guys. Apart from me just telling you guys the theory, you see the practicality of it, the whole process we took. I documented it, beginning with the first appointment or the first time we ever went to see a house. When we started our house hunting or our house search, I have a video on that. The vlog will drop anytime soon. Watch out for it. So you see the whole process that we took, going from one development to the other, looking for houses to buy, basically. So we started the house hunting, went around and around, and eventually we came to this one. Before this one, we already had one that we actually wanted to buy. Yeah, it's with Bharat. We already even got agreement in principle. I'm going to come into that later. But at the end of the day, what I would advise is when doing your house hunting or house search, please take your time, okay? You might see this home and think, oh, this is it. But eventually you see a better home, just as is in our case. And I'll share more light subsequently in this video and in a separate video. So obviously, by the time you found a house that you want to buy, a house that you like, that meets all your specifications or whatever you want in a home, the next thing is for you to speak to a mortgage advisor. Very, very important. Like I mentioned earlier, we already saw one house with Bharat Home that we wanted to buy, okay? So we began the process. Most new development, they work with so many brokers, mortgage advisors. They have links to some of them. I think, as a matter of fact, every broker has the one they use, okay? Bharat use a different one. Miller Homes, the development we eventually bought from, or the developers we eventually bought from, they have the one they use, different from that of Bharat. So most times they will give you the details, okay? For us, we worked with the one that the developers gave us, okay? So you need to speak to a mortgage advisor, a mortgage broker. So you start speaking with the mortgage advisors. They will do some checks on you. That way they will let you know whether you are eligible. They tell you the amount of money you can borrow, amount of money that banks lend you for your mortgage, and this depends on so many factors, especially your income and expenditure. So you might have someone that is earning more than the other, but they can't borrow as much because their expenditure, childcare and all of that, credit, car finance and a lot of things. Which is why I would advise, if you want to buy your house, the best time is now, okay? If you have so many credit, so many finance, maybe car finance, you took out so many finances, you find out that it will also affect the amount of money banks will be willing to offer to you. Even if you are a growing family, by the time childcare comes into place and all of that, you have how many children you are catering for, they consider all of this. So if you want to buy a house and it's something you really want to do, I'll say the best time is now, because by the time you have two, three, four, five children, for instance, let me tell you, it's going to affect how much the bank can owe you, because childcare is a thing, and how much you spend towards feeding your kids, people that are dependent on you, also matters or contributes to the expenses that you make in a month, which is what these brokers and these lenders consider when deciding how much they will lend to you. So obviously, by the time you have spoken to mortgage advisor and they've told you your eligibility, for instance, it helps you to decide whether the new home or the house that you want to buy is a good buy for you. For instance, if the house is for 200,000 and then the brokers or the advisors, they did their checks and they found out that a bank can lend you up to maybe 190,000. Clearly, you can't afford that house. Okay. Another thing I want to say at this point is that all these steps, some of them can happen together. Okay, they can happen one after the other, but most times, okay, they occur together. For instance, the time we started speaking to our mortgage advisors, before we did that, we actually found our home, the one that we wanted to buy. At first, it was with Barat, and then we started speaking to mortgage advisors and all of that. When we finally found this particular home that we bought, it was also the same thing. We found our new home, then we started speaking to mortgage advisors. After that, the next step is reserving your new home. So by the time you found the house that you like, okay, you've done all these checks with the brokers, with the mortgage advisors, and they found out that, oh, you are eligible, you can buy this house, you can afford it, banks are willing to lend you this kind amount of money, and it's within your budget, for instance, then the next thing you do is to go ahead and reserve that home. Having a house basically means taking it off the market, and it also depends on the stage of the building when you reserved it. For us, when we reserved our home, it was still in the building phase. There are still, I think they've done the foundation, I believe, and they are now building on the foundation. They've not even gotten to the, built it so much. So we reserving it means that we are taking it off the market. It's no longer available for someone to indicate interest in. You're indicating your interest and you are taking it out of the market, and it comes with a fee. So you pay, for us, we pay the reservation fee of £500. From listening to people, I think it's very common with so many developers, £500 reservation fee. So we had a reservation meeting and welcome meeting where we reserved it. Then an agreement will be, made. Reservation agreement, it's called. After you reserved your home, you have 14 days cooling off period. That's what it's called. So within 14 days of paying the reservation fee, you can change your mind. And if you change your mind within the 14 days, you get your full refund, your full £500 back. If after the 14 days you decide to change your mind and you don't want, as long as you've not exchanged contracts, you can still withdraw. However, you won't get your full refund. Our developers told us that after 14 days, if we decide to change our mind, they will refund us the half of the amount, and the other half will be for their administrative work or whatever they've done. So you will lose £250 of the reservation fee that you paid. Also note that this reservation fee, the £500, counts towards the cost of buying the house. So if the house is 100,000, for instance, and then you paid £500 as reservation fee, what it means is that the amount you have left to pay is 99,500. So it actually adds up towards the cost of buying the house. After reserving the house, the next step is getting agreement in principle. So agreement in principle is that when your advisors, the mortgage advisors, have done the checks and all these things, they contact different lenders to see those that are willing to lend you money to buy your new home, which is the mortgage. Then you have an agreement in principle. That is, a particular lender, a particular bank has decided that they are going to lend you this amount of money towards buying your house. Then you have what is called agreement in principle. That is not a mortgage offer. It's just an agreement saying that, okay, we are willing to lend you this amount of money towards buying your house. That's agreement in principle. You also need to get that. For us, many people advise, now that I remember, let me quickly say this. Many people will advise you that it's good to look for independent mortgage advisors. That's a brilliant advice. But mind you that, your case might be different. For instance, for us, we wanted to go for with an independent mortgage advisor, probably the one that we got, okay, and the one that we decided to go to was just discouraging us. All we were seeing was negative vibes, why we cannot buy this house. Anyways, the reason is tied down to our savings, how we saved money to buy our house. I'm still going to share with you guys in a video how we managed to save our deposit to buy our house within 1 year. Yeah, we made our savings within 1 year and we bought our house. I'm going to share that in a separate video. So the developer was just the mortgage advisor was just giving us some negative energy why we can't buy this house. In his words, even in the next 1 year, 2 years, we won't be able to buy a house. And we're like, okay, what's going on? We have to go back to the mortgage advisors of our developers, and here we are. We got a mortgage and we bought our house, right? So you also need to take that into consideration. It might work for some people, it might not work for you. It's best to consider both and see whichever one that works best for you. The next thing is getting a solicitor, okay? By the time you've reserved your home, your developers will start asking you for your mortgage advisor details and your solicitor details. Like I said, some of these can happen side by side. By the time we decided our mortgage advisor, we also had to decide our solicitor almost at the same time. Developers also, the same way they have mortgage advisors they work with, they also have solicitors that they work with. So our developer gave us two or three solicitors that they work with, and we decided to go with one, okay, and that's what we use. It's usually advisable that you use the solicitor of the developers because you understand them and it can make some things straightforward and faster. Okay, that doesn't mean that if you have an independent solicitor that is not tied to the developer, you can still use them. But in our own case, we use the solicitor that our developers recommended. We also use the mortgage advisor they recommended, and everything worked out well for us. By the time you've instructed a solicitor to help you, get your mortgage and all of that, the journey begins. This is where the whole thing begins. The solicitors, I think they play a major role, in this. They do so many checks, okay, invasive checks. They will check everything. It's more like they will know your income, how much you are earning. They will ask for your statement, your bank statement. Solicitors normally ask for 6 months. Mortgage advisors normally ask for 3 months because that's what the bank will ask, and then they'll look at that. Then they will, make an offer to you. Then the solicitors, they ask you everything. They scrutinize literally your bank statements, your income, your outgoings, and everything. They will even ask you questions. I remember, like, when they finished doing all of this, eventually they just sent us an email. Oh, I'm now satisfied with your proof of funds. That's how they put it. I mean, okay, you're not satisfied. Good. So if you're not satisfied, you can't go. So they do so many things. They do anti-money laundering checks. They do your land registry. They also do checks on the land that you are buying so that they make sure that it doesn't have maybe previous mine or, they didn't use it for oil refinery and all of that, just to make sure that the land or wherever you are buying is worth it. I remember asking our solicitors, this paper you guys sent us about this land or whatever, I say, Lord, just give me a summary. They summarized it, but I just said, in a layman's language, just tell me, is this a good land? Will I have problem in the future if I want to resell, blah, blah, blah? And they said, absolutely not. It is fine. So they do all these checks. And please, one tip, always ask questions. Don't think that asking a question is daft. I'm going to share with you guys the incentives, the offers that we got from our developers in another video, and you will see how asking a question actually saved us a lot of money. So always ask questions, no matter how stupid you think the question is, they will always give you an answer. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, that's the next step. They start doing all the credit checks, the finance check, just to make sure that everything is okay with your proof of funds, the deposit you are bringing towards buying your house. That's the work of the solicitors. They are not the ones to check whether you are eligible. The mortgage advisors do that, and they are the ones that contact the lender. But the solicitor will help you with every legal stuff that has to do with buying your own house, all the paperwork, and of course, this comes with a fee. And the next step for us was getting our mortgage offer. Oh my gosh, the day we got our mortgage offer, honestly, we were so happy. Of course, I still filmed a video that day. We reacted and all of that. You guys will see all of these vlogs subsequently. But honestly, the next thing is to get your mortgage offer. Remember when I said that you will get your agreement in principle? That's not a mortgage offer, okay? The mortgage offer is when the bank has now said, we are giving you this money. It's now an offer. yeah, this is amount, then it's an agreement and all of that. So you get the mortgage offer. Don't exchange contract, okay, until you've gotten your mortgage offer. Different developers operate differently. I've heard people that, reserved a home, they started building it, went through all the whole process, even got a mortgage offer, but they didn't exchange contract until the building was ready. For our own developer, is different. As a matter of fact, they have 8 weeks of reservation. So you have the timeline for reservation agreement is 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, you must exchange contract with them, regardless of the building stage. That's how they operate, okay? But for us, we asked for an extension after 8 weeks. Like, we didn't get a mortgage offer yet. We are still doing some stuff, okay, which I'll share with you guys, the financial side of it, which is very sensitive, okay? But eventually, we got a mortgage offer, and until we got a mortgage offer, that was when we exchanged contract. So after you get your mortgage offer, the next step is exchange of contract. That is the legal binding. So as soon as you exchange contract, what that means is that you are legally bound to buy this house. Legally bound to buy this house. You must buy this house. If you pull out after exchange of contract, you lose every money, and the solicitor can sue you, and you even lose even more money, okay? And also, it's also an agreement or a contract with the developer that they must sell that house to you. If for whatever reason they're unable to sell that house to you, you can take them to court, you can sue them, they also have a lot to lose and pay you back and all of that. As soon as you exchange contract, for us, the next step was payment of our deposit. Okay, so that is when the solicitor must have done all their checks and they are satisfied with your proof of funds. They will now request that you send to them your deposit. Very, very important. So you send your deposit to your solicitor then send it to the developer. And please remember that all this stage depends on the stage of the building at the time you reserved and started the whole building process. Like I said, even after exchanging contract, even after doing all these things, the building was still not ready. So immediately we exchanged contract, okay, and then sent our deposit to the solicitor who sent it to the developer. The next thing that we did was to have our options meeting. Because it's a new home and the house was still under construction, we needed to come and choose our options, okay? So we went in and we did our options meeting. That is where you select the color or the type of cabinet you want in your kitchen, the color of the tiles or the type of tiles you want. You basically decide whatever you want in your home. Apart from painting or any decoration, they won't do decoration. They'll just give you a white canvas just for you to work on and decide what you want to do, okay? That's how they work. But at that time, you choose what you want. For instance, you decide flooring. We did our flooring with our developer. Yes, we paid for the tiles. You wanted to have tiles. That's the point to decide whether you want tiles. Sometimes people don't get to have this options meeting because by the time they saw the house or the house they want to buy, it's already ready. They've already made order, they've already ordered for the cabinet, they've already decided on the flooring and all of that. Then you have little or no contribution, okay, or control over what you get in your house. But in our own case, we were lucky that we reserved on time, so we had the option to choose what we have. So everything in this house were our options basically, and then we did some upgrades. I'm also going to talk to you guys the upgrade. Someone has asked me this question. I'm going to answer that in a different video. The options we went for and why we decided to go for those options. And after that, the next thing that we did was to come for a progress meeting. That's when they've put the roof on the building. Everything was literally the skating boards, the plaster boards. Some of them were not even there. They've not put plaster board, more like see the skeleton of the house. So we came in that day. This also, I'm going to show you guys in a vlog. We came in with the site manager showing us. It's advisable that when you come for that meeting, take videos and pictures so that you see the wirings, the plumbing. They must have done the plumbing and the electrical wiring so that in case you want to do something in the future in your house, you can go back to that video and see where some pipes and things go. That's what people advise. So we came for that options meeting and we saw the skeleton of our house, the rooms, what it would look like. At that point, the house was looking so small, but obviously the house has not come together. And eventually when it came together, when we came for the next one, which is home demonstration, everything made sense. So yeah, home demonstration is the next. So during the home demonstration, we actually did our home demonstration and home check together. Ideally, it should come separately, but if you don't have so much time, it's almost the same thing. So home demonstration and home check. So home demonstration is when they show you how your boiler works, how the ovens, some electrical appliances in your house, how they operate. That's the home demonstration. They will show you the tap and everything. Home check is when you come in and see if there is anything they missed in your house. For instance, in our own case, we paid for outside tap. That's one of the upgrades that we paid for. We came and we saw that, oh, they didn't give us that. So you check for snacks, and they have some things, broken tiles, and there are things that are not looking. So home check is to check out for snacks, things that are not right. Also, in our own case, we discovered they had a rough finishing on our tiles. We called the attention to that. We are supposed to have a soft close toilet seat in our family bathroom. They didn't give us that. We called the attention to all of this. So anything that you paid for or an option you went for that you didn't get, okay, that's when you mentioned it. Also, in our own case, the choice of tiles that we chose wasn't what they gave us. We also pointed it out at that point, but they were like, no, you need to go and check. I think it is it. But later on, we realized it's not it. And obviously, we are getting a compensation for that. Yeah. So this is what home check is. So you do the home demonstration for them to demonstrate and show you how your home operates, and then the home check. But we did these two together. After that is completion. Okay, so you have the completion. First of all, before your completion day, your solicitor will send you what is called completion statement. Completion statement shows you everything, okay, basically that that you still have outstanding fees. Honestly, when we saw our completion statement, the money was too much. Honestly, you have to pay that. It shows you, for instance, the solicitor, we paid them I think 25% of their money before they started. In the completion statement, the balance will be there. Even there were some adjustments because they said that the land registry checks have increased as at the time they gave us the invoice and all of that. So the remaining money, the options, for instance, when we choose our options, we also pay 25% of the amount of upgrade we did, and then the balance is to be paid at completion. So you see your completion statement, and then you have to send the money. So they sent us this and we paid, and the final thing was completion day. So completion day, you don't need to do anything. I forgot to say, even exchange of contract, you don't need to do anything. It's between your solicitor and the solicitor of the developers. Same with completion, it's between your solicitor and the solicitor of the developers. So you just sit down, your solicitor will call you or send you an email to say, hi, the bank has sent the money, we've sent all the money to developers, everything is done, you can go and collect your key. Our completion day was on a Friday. We couldn't go because husband man was at work. We waited, and on Saturday we drove down and we collected our key, which is the last stage, key collection. So we collected our key. Obviously, I vlogged, I showed you guys the day we went to collect our key, all the documents to the house and everything. It was so exciting for us. And these, basically, my people, are the steps we took to buy our own house today. I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not, turn your notification bell because more videos are coming your way. If you have any question, anything you want to ask me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. So I have so many videos still coming your way, and please, for you not to miss them, you need to subscribe. Okay, please, when you watch my videos, I beg you, please like them because it goes a long way. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Until then, stay blessed, remain intentional, and take good care of yourselves. Bye.